Ritual of life. Life's a play with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. The things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the Patreon link in the description box. And we go live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It looks like that will be till the end of June and the first week of July. So anyways, man, tap in, man. Tonight we talking about 4 men being arrested in the George Floyd case. All 4 former officers are officially in handcuffs. And let's jump into shout out to Brian Custer. Thank you, Brian Custer, for coming on, man. That shit was epic, man. That shit's so epic. I need to do some more promo videos out of that shit, man. Thank you for coming on, and congratulations and continued success. I'm genuinely excited about your podcast because you're going to get people that I can't reach, and it's going to be exciting. And one of the persons that he reached is Earl Spence. Earl, you got to come into the barbershop, dog. You got to come into the barbershop and talk some shit and swallow spit. And man, you can talk about anything you want, however you want. I'm gonna push you too, man. Shit, we can talk about Keith Thurman all night long, all night. Yeah, let's go, baby. So, yeah, man, I enjoyed it. It was an hour long. The Last Stand podcast by Brian Custer on YouTube. Feel free to go to it. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. 56 and a half minutes of he and Earl Spence one-on-one. And there was a lot of things that stuck out to me, but I will say the one thing that was funny as hell to me was when Earl was talking about Ugas and shit. You almost had your Floyd Mayweather moment, dog. He almost had it. He said he couldn't get the word regiment out. I caught that shit. You couldn't get the word regiment out, so you changed it to style or something. Anyways, man, shout out to Earl, man. That shit happens to be a lot too, man. And I thank God that you're quick on your feet, Earl. You picked up on it, but I caught that shit. It's regiment, Earl. Regiment. All right, man. Let's jump into this shit, man. Earl says he's 100%. Earl says he's 100%. And I'm excited to see him at 100%. If he says 100%, he hasn't sparred yet. He got to get some more surgery done with his mouth, and that'll be exciting. Earl and Deontay Wilder are probably two of the guys I genuinely like inherently look forward to covering and watching fight. Yeah, man. And so, you know, this interview was done before the George Floyd incident. So I know some of you guys may be wondering, nobody guys reached out to me, but it was done before. I can tell just so you guys why he didn't talk about George Floyd. It would happen before. It was pre-recorded, and he has set dates on when he wants to release his interview. So I just wanted to say that in defense of both of them, Brian Custer and Earl Spence. Yeah, man. He says 100%. Him and Danny Garcia. That fight has to be at Barclay or in Dallas. It can't come to LA or Vegas. It's okay. I'll be there. Well, if we can. What else? I like that fight between Earl Spence and Danny Garcia. That's going to be a phone booth fight. And I'm very interested. Will Earl Spence slip some work? Because he basically absorbed Sean Porter. I'm very interested. Will Earl Spence do a lot of slipping? And I think his pull counter left hand will be a great shot. You know what I mean? So you got to fight on your toes, Earl. You know what I mean? That should be easier to do with Danny Garcia, because now you know you can physically maneuver Danny. Or excuse me, physically, Danny's not going to move with you. You understand? Danny's very linear. He's not even north-south. Danny is more south, downhill, flat-footed, or walking forward. You understand? He doesn't really have that linear type stuff. I mean, that east-west type of action. You know, he don't even do step backs and stuff like that. Either come forward, catch. He does a good job at slipping. Danny is very technical. I'm a big fan of Danny Garcia. That's going to be a good fight. Welcome back, boxing. I like that fight. Hopefully it's free. if you guys want to build your brand, you may lose about a $500,000-$600,000 maybe, because I don't think the money's there for a pay-per-view fight. And I'm just speaking on behalf of the fans, because I talk to the fans every day. We ain't got no money, y'all. I'm just gonna be 100 with y'all. Y'all think y'all coming back with these $70-$80 pay-per-views? We ain't got no money for that. All right. And I want to support both of y'all, but I can't pay for it and then lie and say I paid for it, knowing that they didn't pay for it. So I'll probably be at the fight more than likely if fans are allowed. But yeah, man. Oh, that's a tough tag, man. Well, first is gonna be y'all gonna learn from the Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis fight, because those numbers gonna be terrible. Because I'm definitely encouraging everyone to, until Paulie Malignaggi gets fired or does a public apology. How humbling would that be for the Italian stallion, Paulie Malignaggi? You know what I'm saying? So until either of those two things happen, I'm telling all my subscribers, which is pretty strong, to unsubscribe from Showtime and or not buy the Leo Santa Cruz Tank Davis fight, even though I have a great deal of respect for Steven Espinoza, and Steven Espinoza knows my heart, and he knows what I stand for, and I see his Twitter, so I know he can respect me and what I stand for, and knows it's not even business. It's about humanity. And as I digress back into Earl Spence, other thing caught me off guard too. I'll admit this too, Earl. I like Chocolatito too, though. But the fucking business of boxing made me dislike him, though. Not dislike him, excuse me. I don't want to say that. Made me not root for him. You understand? Made me not root for him. And because he's not the pound for pound best fighter. He just throws 1,200 punches a fight, and he's entertaining, and he just goes and fight, and he's very technical. If you love boxing, you will appreciate Chocolatito, because he can slip, catch, pull, counter from a flat-footed not from a flat foot, but in your face. He can do all that shit in your face, even though he catches a lot of work, but he's capable of doing that. And here's a cool story about Chocolatito, Earl, that you might know. Like, I'm talking to Earl, I'm talking to the fans. But if Earl watches this video, me and Chocolatito was on the same flight to Houston when against Jamel Charlo, when Jamel Charlo fought Brandon Adams. We was on the same flight, and our flight got canceled. And the funniest shit ever, me and Chocolatito was sleeping in the airport till 6, 7 in the morning. He had a Louis Vuitton bag and shit, and pretty funny, man. I was literally right next to him, and I was like, "Hey, Chocolatito." He didn't know English, but I should have interviewed him. That would have been a cool interview. But he had his interpreter with me, and manager with him, excuse me. And so that's a pretty cool story. Last June, I believe that was, when we had a 100-man event at the barbershop in Pearland, Texas. Oh man, I wish I could relive that day. That was special. What else? He said Canelo's the pound for pound best fighter in the world. He could never be the pound for pound best fighter in the world because he tested positive for steroids. They got to cheat to be us, to even be in a competitive field with us. What else highlighted there? Oh, about losing weight and stuff. I thought that was pretty compelling stuff, man. The things that fighters go through to lose the weight, and believe it or not, that happens more often than not. That definitely happens more often than not. And he had to lose the weight. And the funniest story ever, the Mikey Garcia fight. As you guys were talking, I remember this. Earl, you lost so much weight. You remember coming down this? I'm not talking to Earl, but I'm telling the story in first person. All right. Remember coming down the stairs of the hotel? Was it the Marriott? You was coming down from going to see the commission, and I was like, "Where's Earl at?" Don't you know I was 1 foot away from Earl? I didn't even recognize Earl. Earl said, "Damn, I lost that much weight. You only recognize me." It's on my camera somewhere. That was the same interview when he said Sean Porter can't sell out a family dinner. And it was that interview. That shit was hilarious. I said, I didn't even recognize your ass, or you must have lost 35 pounds that fight, because you were skinny as hell. And what else, man? What else? Some stuff that oh yeah, he talked about Kell Brook was his greatest win and his toughest opponent. That was interesting. That was very interesting. That was very, very interesting. And the reason why I say that's very interesting is because I thought Sean Porter was a tough fight. I thought that was a very tough fight, and but I genuinely can see how Kell Brook was a tougher fight because Kell Brook beat Sean Porter. I would say, obviously, I mean, most people would say Kell Brook is a more talented fighter than Sean Porter. Sean Porter is definitely tough, a very tough out. But I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was a slight at Sean Porter or he was being real, but Errol comes off pretty authentic. And they also touched about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder get back. He talked about he's in the 160s now, which is amazing. Yeah, man, he seemed like he was in a good space. He looked healthy. He genuinely looked healthy. He looked happy. Go check out the interview, The Last Stand with Brian Custard. Yeah, man. Hopefully Earl gets back in the fall, early winter. Well, it can't be early winter if it's 2020, but when does the winter come? December? Yeah, so it got to be in the fall. Hopefully you come back in the fall, and I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm excited. You know, I went to a Ocampo fight, didn't make a dime. I think I lost $1,000 covering you and Ocampo, but I had a good time at DG's, dog. Man, my God. What up, Buddy Lee? My God, my God. Anyways, man, Earl, you got to have a hometown fight, nigga. All right, because I need to spend 3 days in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas is my favorite fight city. I almost went to the Mikey Garcia fight, but something came up, and I was just gonna go and just spend the weekend in Dallas. And they didn't care if I went to the fight, but I would have gone to the fight and hollered at my boy Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn probably would have sent me his private jet. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Dallas is my favorite city to go to, man. I had a great time at the Star Center, had a great time there. And man, it's just a beautiful city, man. I mean, man, just take my man for every answer that every question that you have to your answers, man. I believe it, truth be told, I actually would consider retiring in Dallas. You know, I don't think I can do it now because I got to run the business, and I got to make sure Lincoln is capable and or Kennedy is capable of running the business, because I'm not giving nobody 10% of something that I can do in terms of a management company. But I would retire in Dallas on 3 acres. You know what I mean? And rock that out, because I can't afford 3 acres here in Los Angeles, but I can afford it in Texas. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, we got George Floyd tonight. Great job, Brian Custard. Great job, Earl. I like the authenticity of the interview. Yeah, man. Yeah, pretty dope. What else? Oh, they talked about, he was impacted with the COVID-19. I knew that, but someone in Dallas actually spoke to him about COVID-19. I mean, was impacted. He didn't mention death, so that's a blessing that that nothing happened to him and his family. What else? Yeah, it was a good interview, man. Solid interview. Is something I want to see more of. You know what I mean? I'm glad everyone is doing interviews and shit. It's time to open up and start building your brands and shit, whether you're doing it on social media or whether you're doing it with people like me who are clamoring for interviews. But Earl, we got to have you in the barbershop sooner or later, dog. We got to, dog. Man, I got to talk shit and swallow spit with you, man. I never really I think for the Sean Porter fight, I thought that was a good interview. You know what I mean? You was itching to get that shit off your chest about Sean, and I was the right man for it because I wasn't afraid to go there. But yeah, man, that would be cool, man, to have you talk to the fans. That should be dope as shit. What else? Ugas. I mean, I lost a lot of respect for Ugas, as you guys know. So I'm just gonna say, who cares? You know. He can go fight in Biloxi. What else? They touched on a lot of shit. Go watch the interview. Brian Custard, The Last Stand. He's almost at 1,000 subs, man, which is beautiful. Barbershop Conversations, doing an integral part in supporting the man, which is amazing. My daughter's right here. What's up, Kiki? iPads are amazing. I just tell you that right now. And more importantly, keep fighting, dog, on the George Floyd, man. This is I couldn't go out today. I can't go out tomorrow because I have my kids. Friday, I'll be out there protesting, frontlining it, doing the best that I can, being as loud as I can. I think that it's incredibly important that we have presence. All right. And don't ever forget that your presence is a gift. And I don't care if you're a celebrity like Earl Spence or Brian Cussard. I think it's our obligation as Black men, because and three of us have kids. It's our important to fight for the lineage of our bloodline. And I encourage everybody to go on the front line. If you can't go, drop off snacks, drop off supplies. You understand what I'm saying? Donate money. Use your internet platforms, use your phone conversations, use your connections to politicians and police officers. Coincidentally, I have two neighbors, literally one across the street that's a police officer, and one diagonally is the captain. Is the captain of a really popular police station out here in Los Angeles. So, which is pretty ironic. And the precinct literally, I'll give it away. People are gonna be telling me, "Oh, you know him," but yeah. So, yeah, man. So I think it's just incredibly important that we do our job, man. And congratulations to Earl, 100% recovery, man. And hey, if you interview with me, I'm gonna ask you to say the word epidemic. I mean, what do you say? Not epidemic, but shit. Now I'm fucking up. The Cuban style, whatever he said about the Cuban style, you know, that shit, I'm gonna ask you to say that word. I need to go back and watch that shit. Oh man. So, anyways, man, shout out to Earl, man. Appreciate you, man. Brian Cussard, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming into the barbershop, man. I know me and you quite possibly have the same barber, but you know, I appreciate you coming on. And I think that's it. So I actually you want to know the truth, like I enjoy talking about like Deontay Wilder, Earl Spitz and shit, and who else? Like Tank Davis, Adrian Broner. Like I enjoy like doing videos about these son of a guns, man. So y'all need to be more active. Do interviews with other people's channels and shit, man. Like it makes me smile to know that y'all are doing well and that y'all are happy and shit like that. And you know what I mean? So anyhow, man, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Deontay Wilder will be in the barbershop, guys. No, when he starts doing interviews and stuff. I believe on the PBC podcast, he said he can start training this week. So he'll be fully healed from his surgery that he had. So I can anticipate him coming out probably within the next 30 to 45 days, maybe. So we'll be waiting. And Tank Davis should be coming out pretty soon. Tank Davis, do me a solid, Tank. Tank, do me a solid. Beat his ass, Tank. And please make 130. Dog, make 130 on Tuesday. All right. Can you be 134 on Tuesday? Can you do me that solid, Tank Davis? Can you be 134 or 136 on Tuesday, dog? Can you do us that solid and lose 2 pounds a day? Can you do us that solid, please, Tank? Come on, dog. All right. Be accountable, be responsible. And boxing is yours, man. And I won't be buying your pay-per-view, Tank, and that's for what I believe in. I will be supporting you. So I done said a lot of shit that was so off topic in this video, but you know what the hell, man. So anyways, man, Cuban style pedigree. Was it pedigree or something? I don't know. I think was it pedigree? Anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll take this call. Peace.